Let's get to your top story, and that's overnight rain in the national capital has brought down the pollution levels and respite from the toxic air. A crucial hearing taking up this matter as far as the pollution problem is concerned. That's coming up in Supreme Court today, in which solutions such as artificial rain and the odd-even formula will be taken up by the Supreme Court today. But is this the long-term solution? Now, that crucial hearing will look at the odd-even formula. Of course, the Supreme Court had earlier gone on to say that those are mere optics. Will they change their mind, or will they go ahead with implementing the odd-even formula for the fourth time in the national capital, but the first time since 2019? Artificial rain is something that Gopal Rai, Delhi's environment minister, has spoken about since the month of September. They're weighing down on their options. They're talking about budgets right now. And of course, a lot of approvals are needed before that can be done. And they have decided that if they go ahead with plans, then that would take place between the 20th and the 21st of November. Now, the Delhi government has gone on to say that they will fund the artificial rain completely as far as that trial is concerned. But rain has definitely brought in a much needed respite. One is breathing easy when it comes to the national capital after 7 days of being choked in that toxic, very, very toxic air in the NCR region. Now, several parts of Delhi received light rainfall. This is between Thursday night and Friday morning, bringing a much-needed respite from the increased air pollution in the national capital. The rainfall comes amid the Delhi government's ongoing efforts to implement the idea of solutions to curtail the pollution problem in the city. On Thursday, the Delhi government decided to fully fund 2 phases of an artificial rain pilot project to combat the air pollution in the city. So, meanwhile, the Delhi government has also fielded ministers to ensure that the implementation of anti-pollution measures are in place as part of the inspection process. Several Delhi ministers were seen on Thursday inspecting different areas and borders connecting Delhi to neighbouring states. Do remember, one of the solutions that has been suggested includes banning of app-based taxis coming in from other states, which are registered in other states, from entering Delhi or flying within the national capital during this phase from now in the run-up till about, Diwali and after, because the pollution levels have been very, very high. However, when we talk about PM 2.5 levels, they have come down considerably so early this morning. Let's listen in to what the Environment Minister had to say.
पूरे दिल्ली के अंदर जो है प्रदूषण को देखते हुए जितने ट्रक्स हैं जो आवश्यक सामग्री आवश्यक सेवाओं में शामिल नहीं है उनकी एंट्री बैन है। उसके लिए केवल सीएनजी और इलेक्ट्रिक के ट्रक्स की एंट्री है। उसके लिए पूरे दिल्ली में सभी बॉर्डर्स पे उनको टीमें लगाई गई हैं।
To get more on the weather situation and the pollution situation, we have Mahesh Palawat of SkyMet joining us. A very good morning, Mahesh. Please take us through, how has it rained in Delhi? Was it expected, or is this unexpected rain? How long will it continue?
Good morning, Divya. It was expected, but the intensity was not like this. We were expecting that it will be light to very light rain because western disturbance is moving across western Himalayas. And anticipation was for night of November 9th and early morning of November 10th. So it has happened, and now it has already bring down the pollutants over Delhi and NCR, and now also we expect that patchy rain will continue, light rain in some parts of Haryana, Delhi and western parts of Uttar Pradesh. And,
so the rain, Mahesh, that's taken us by surprise is likely to continue in the course of the day, or are we expecting more of the same, or is it going to be less?
It will be less. It will be patchy rain for another 1 or 2 hours. Thereafter, the weather will clear up. And from tomorrow, we expect that wind speed will increase from northwest direction, and it will continue for 3 to 4 days. So the anticipation of pollution, which is usually occur during Diwali time, it will also be less. Because the dispersal will be there, the winds will not allow the pollutants to accumulate over Delhi and NCR for at least next 3 to 4 days. So we can say that Delhi can breathe easy, not very easy, but somewhat easy for next 2 to 3 days.
Mahesh, correct me if I'm wrong, but they say when it rains less, it doesn't rain properly, if it's a light rain or drizzle, it adds to the moisture content in the air, which basically means that pollutants will hang in the air for longer. Is that right?
Yes. If it would have rained very light, then the pollutants will have increased because the smog will be thicker due to increase in moisture level in the atmosphere, and due to light winds, the accumulation of pollutants bound to increase further.
Right. Thank you so much, Mahesh, for getting us all those details and for being the bearer of good news. So it's not just rain, but also wind that's needed to disperse the pollutants out of Delhi. And that is what we're expecting before Diwali. So it's looking good as far as the forecast goes. But we also have solutions in place. And that is what's going to be taken up by the Supreme Court today in order to decide. Of course, the Supreme Court's come down heavy as far as the cracker burning is also concerned, urging the citizens of the national capital not to burn any crackers. Moving on to more news, the Parliamentary Ethics Committee looking into the cash for query issue has cited concerns about national security while indicting Mahua Moitra for login sharing. The panel formally decided today to recommend her expulsion from the parliament. This took place on Thursday. The allegation against Mahua Moitra was that sharing her password with businessman Darshan Hiranandani endangered national security. Now, sources reveal that the ethics panel report has said on this that sources have gone on to say that TMC MP's parliament login has been used 47 times between 2019 and September of this year from United Arab Emirates. However, she was in the UAE only 4 times during that very period. Sharing of parliamentary login means giving passwords to unauthorized people, is what sources have told NDTV, quoting the Parliamentary Ethics Committee, and this could give them access to many sensitive documents that are shared with MPs in advance.
The Ethics Committee of the Parliament that is looking into this cash for questions scam in which TMC MP Mahua Moitra is embroiled in met today, and it took this decision of accepting this report, and this report makes 2 very prominent suggestions and recommendations. One is basically it calls for the expulsion of Ms. Mahua Moitra. It says there are 2 reasons for this. One, it says there are national security implications of Ms. Moitra sharing her login credentials with an unauthorized person such as industrialist Darshan Hiranandani. Remember, Ms. Moitra is facing very serious charges of taking cash and favors from Mr. Hiranandani to perpetuate his interest in asking questions in the parliament. Nearly 50 of the 61 questions that she asked in the parliament were seen as perpetuating the interest of the Hiranandani group. And the other main recommendation that the committee makes is also call for an institutional probe to look at the criminality aspect of this matter. These are the 2 important recommendations that the committee makes, and this is all based on some of the findings that it has from Home Ministry, MEA and the IT Ministry. It says that Ms. Moitra, by sharing her login credentials with someone like Darshan Hiranandani, prima facie has committed a crime that basically endangers the national security of the country. And here the report, according to sources who have seen it, goes on to say that this NIC login is not just used to paste questions in the parliament, but also used to share drafts and internal details about committees' presentations and government departments' presentations to different parliamentary committees. And when it comes to bills, like when it came to bills like Triple Talaq Bill or the J&K delimitation or the Coastal Regulation Act or mines, or for that matter even central GST, it was this NIC login of MPs that was used to share the draft for MPs to give their suggestions. Similarly, this report also says that Ms. Moitra projected unethical conduct when it came to getting gifts from Mr. Hiranandani, some of which she has already accepted. She said that she did accept gifts like makeup items, and she also let Mr. Hiranandani take care of her travel expenses when she was in Mumbai. So these gifts do amount to illegal gratification that public representatives should not be indulging in, and this raises moral and ethical questions on the conduct of MPs. This is what the committee says. It also says that while it doesn't have the technical wherewithal to probe the criminality aspect of it, it does call for institutional probe into this matter. Now this report gets submitted to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla tomorrow, and we already have the dates of the winter session now. The winter session is going to begin from December 4th and it's going to go on till December 22nd. So this report is expected to get tabled in that first week of the winter session of the Parliament.
Switching tracks to Mumbai now, and tragic news coming in of 3 people who have died and 6 others who've been injured after a speeding SUV rammed several vehicles at the toll plaza on the Bandra-Worli Sea Link in Mumbai. The police have said that a Toyota Innova car, which was coming towards Bandra, crashed into a Mercedes just 100 meters before the toll post at around 10:15 at night. In an attempt to flee the scene, the car then hit several other vehicles at the toll queue. 2 women and 1 man were killed in the crash. The driver of the Innova car, who also suffered minor injuries, has been arrested and the car has been seized. The 5.6-kilometer long 8-lane Bandra-Worli Sea Link, which connects Bandra in West Mumbai to Worli in South Mumbai, has seen several car crashes in the recent months. And switching tracks to Uttar Pradesh now. A little before 2 months, the grand Ram temple will be inaugurated in Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya. The once sleepy town is getting a rapid makeover. NDTV's Tanish Punjabi and Rajesh Gupta report on what's going on and whether the pace of change can keep up with the end of January deadline. Let's find out.
At the entrance to Uttar Pradesh's Ayodhya, as the Yogi Adityanath government races to meet a January 2024 deadline to give a makeover to the once sleepy temple town ahead of the high-profile Ram temple inauguration. The 25 lakh residents of Ayodhya are witnessing rapid change, impacting almost each and every aspect of their lives. On the roads that lead to the Hanuman Gadi temple, one of Ayodhya's most famous landmarks after the Ram temple, a complete infrastructural change has taken place. Shops were demolished and some of them rebuilt after road widening work. The government says other shop owners have been compensated. For a few months, the business around Hanuman Gadi took a hit, but shop owners say the future is bright.
पहले तो उतना कुछ भी नहीं था, यात्री भी नहीं आते थे। अब जो है यात्री भी थोड़ा आने लगे, हम लोग का इनकम भी बढ़ा है और आगे जाके बढ़ने वाला ही है। दुकानें छोटी हो गई है, लेकिन जो है इनकम तो बढ़ेगी।
Rais Mohammed, one of the very few Muslim shop owners around Hanuman Gadi, is happy with the redevelopment.
बेहतर तो दिखाई दे रहा है, बेहतर तो होगा ही होगा। ये पहले से जो है मंदिर जब से निर्माण हुआ है, होना स्टार्ट हुआ है, तब से पब्लिक जो है काफ़ी कंटिन्यू चल रही है।
But not everyone is as enthusiastic. 50-year-old Rajkumar Saini has been selling flowers outside the Hanuman Gadi temple for almost 30 years. His rented shop is now totally demolished. This has left him selling flowers on the street.
जहाँ पर हम 500 बेचते थे, तहाँ हम 200 नहीं पूर पड़ रहे हैं। हमारा फूल बिक जाएगा तो हम कहेंगे हाँ बिजनेस हमारा अच्छा हो रहा है। जो हमारा फूल नहीं बिकेगा तो हम कैसे कह देंगे कि हमारा बिजनेस सही है।
This new railway station building, a 2-storied structure, will be inaugurated in January 2024.
The under construction new railway station of Ayodhya may seem empty right now, but is waiting for lakhs of tourists in the coming time.
With the city already witnessing a surge in tourist numbers, many new hotels have opened up, with some even gaining 100% occupancy now, despite the temple inauguration being 2 months away.
जैसे अगर आप पहले की बात करेंगे, जब ये अयोध्या 2022 की डेट थी जब हमने ओपनिंग की, उस समय अगर 30% की ऑक्यूपेंसी रहती थी अयोध्या के अंदर टूरिज्म को लेकर, ट्रैवल सेक्टर को लेके, तो आज वो 80% पे पहुंची हुई है डेफिनेटली। और फिलहाल के तौर पे तो मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि हम पूरी ऑक्यूपेंसी के साथ में आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
As Ayodhya goes a massive transformation in the preparation of the grand Ram temple inauguration, the locals are adapting to the change. But the question here is whether the pace of change will be enough to keep up with the approaching deadline. With camera person Rajesh Gupta and Pramod Srivastav, Tanish Punjabi for NDTV.
Switching tracks, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has arrived in New Delhi to co-chair the 5th India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue. The Ministry of External Affairs official spokesperson Arindam Bakshi has said that Blinken's visit will give further boost to India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership. And earlier on Thursday, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin also arrived in New Delhi for a 2-day visit to attend the same India-US 2+2 ministerial dialogue. He was received by his Indian counterpart, Rajnath Singh. Following his India visit, Austin will be travelling to Korea and Indonesia as well. Then this will be his 9th visit to the Indo-Pacific. Austin was also given the Guard of Honor as a mark of respect for visiting U.S. Secretary of Defense. And Israel has agreed to put in place 4-hour daily humanitarian pauses in its assault on Hamas in northern Gaza, is what the White House has confirmed. President Joe Biden has pressed Israelis for a multi-day stoppage in the fighting in a bid to negotiate the release of hostages held by the militant group. Now, Joe Biden says that these pauses are a step in the right direction, but Israel's bombardment of Gaza Strip continues. Fighting between Israel and Hamas is close to the Al-Quds hospital in Gaza City, as another area in northern Gaza was also bombarded by Israel.
One child after the other being pulled out from the rubble. The Jabalia refugee camp was hit one more time on Wednesday. While some of the children in Jabalia escaped a certain death, others were fatally hit. As another area in northern Gaza, Beit Lahia, was also bombed by Israel. Continuing with its ground invasion, the Israeli Defense Forces said its troops captured a Hamas stronghold known as Outpost 17 in West Jabalia after 10 hours of fighting. The IDF also claims to have gone deep inside Gaza City. Palestinians were seen fleeing northern Gaza as the Israeli army announced a 4-hour humanitarian pause for the first time, according to reports. IDF said 50,000 Gaza residents left northern Gaza on Wednesday.
ראינו היום כיצד 50,000 עזתים עוברים מצפון רצועת עזה לדרום רצועת עזה. הם עוזבים כי הם מבינים שחמאס איבד שליטה בצפון עזה ובדרום בטוח יותר, יש אזור בטוח יותר שאליו מגיעים תרופות, מים ומזון. הם מבינים זאת היטב. אנחנו נמשיך להחזיק את המעבר ההומניטרי הזה דרומה. נמשיך לאפשר גם מחר לתושבי עזה לרדת מכבלי חמאס בצפון רצועת עזה לדרום רצועת עזה. חמאס איבד שליטה וממשיך לאבד שליטה בצפון.
The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, described his visit to the Rafah crossing as a living nightmare. The crossing serves as the only entry point for humanitarian aid to enter Gaza, albeit it's just a drop in the ocean.
The lifeline has been unjustly, outrageously failed. In Rafah, I witnessed the gates to a living nightmare. A nightmare where people have been suffocating under persistent bombardment, mourning their families, struggling for water, for food, for electricity and fuel.
Amidst the bombings and killings, there was a ray of hope for Gazans. As French President called for a ceasefire on Thursday, although many global powers will need to come together to stop this nightmare for civilians. With Vishal Vivek, Bureau Report, NDTV.